something similar. Maybe putting pressure on it.
Are you bored of this game yet?
I just found out the other day that this car sounds literally perfect, and I made the paint to spec that one I saw in Queensway.
You don't get bored of just driving?
If I do, I'll go to a different car and I'll feel all the same. There are a few of these with the straight pipe exhaust downtown in our videos on YouTube, and this sounds basically exactly how it should, as long as it has the exhaust.
As well as on Twitch at Matt Morris TV, folks. I'll tell you what, we are back. We were gone yesterday, but we are back, and today, boy,
When is this you're driving?
Do we have a lot to talk about?
So
first off, the Trump
SVJ.
administration just this morning has just officially declared war, as they are putting it, on all of the fraud, the waste, corruption, the abuse that has been taking place across this entire country. And actually, just this morning, we actually got a massive report from none other than the White House, from Trump's White House. And as a matter of fact, much of the fraud has actually already been shut down. We're going to break it down. We're not just paying lip service here. It is getting shut down every single day. We'll break it down. Also, right now, the Democrats are absolutely terrified as one of their now deleted posts on social media is going viral, really exposing their entire party. Also, in other news, much to the dismay of the Democrats, there is an absolutely massive federal social media commentators, talking heads.
Dude, I love how I keep turning down the specs and it keeps using more fucking memory, bro.
Accepting
Like, I don't understand that.
to peddle anti-American propaganda to their American audience.
Sometimes it can run 60, sometimes it can run 120. Make up your fucking mind.
So right now,
Yeah, I don't trust anything you say after you couldn't figure out. You're supposed to press shift to fucking get the symbol you want.
for lack of a better phrase,
I did turn the shit
blasted
down.
the living hell out of the Iranian
Nice.
regime, teaching them a lesson that I think they probably won't be soon
turned-
forgetting. And actually, we just got
Where
word
is
that
it?
President Trump is going to be
These to
convening
medium,
a
turned it down
secret
from
meeting
ultra,
of sorts
or from
in the next
extreme
couple
to
days,
ultra, and this to low.
at which he's going to come to the final
Like,
decision
if I turn
as to
down
whether
the
or
environment
not
texture
he's going
or
to continue
geometry quality, am I going to start hitting
blasting the living
invisible
hell out of
walls
the
and shit?
Iranian regime. It all comes down to this, folks. We're going to break it all down. Folks, it is good to be back. I took Memorial Day off yesterday. I think a lot of people did. I spent some time with my family. We put flowers. We went to a local graveyard. We put flowers down on some of the veterans' graves. It was a good
Like,
day.
it's still, I just turned
I'm happy
down
to be
2 major
back.
things,
Thank
and
you all
it's
very
still
much for being
over.
here. Make sure to hit that like button. Make
Like,
sure
dude,
to
I don't
subscribe.
understand.
It really does help a lot. But folks, with this little bit of an introductory preamble, as I say, out of the way, why don't we go ahead and get right into the show? Now, folks, the very first thing I want to talk about today is fraud. Like I said, the current administration is tackling fraud. Let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, for years now, in fact, still to this very day, we've all been getting told by the Democrats that fraud, corruption, waste, and abuse, well, that these things don't actually exist, that it's all some crazy right-wing conspiracy. And actually, as you might remember, in early 2025, when Elon Musk and the DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, started poking around, seeing if they could identify fraud, waste, corruption, abuse, well, as you might remember, the Democrats, they went ballistic. They started holding massive riots, protests across the country. They started vandalizing Tesla automobiles parked on the side of the road. Hell, they even started blowing up and shooting bullets into Tesla dealerships across the country, literally. But guess what? Just this morning, the White House has just released an absolute bombshell of a report. Not only exposing all of the Democrats of fraud, which is, yes, very real, but also in which they literally declare war on all of the Democrats' beloved fraud, waste, corruption, and abuse. Folks, take a look at this. Coming from the White House earlier this morning, Trump administration's full-scale war on fraud. Now, they release a massive document here. I've compiled the highlights in a post on the Morse Report page on X. Let's go through this. Distributed, released this morning, May 26th, 2026. Folks, go ahead and give you a warning in the live chat of the comments down below. If you are someone that's been waiting for accountability, you want to see arrests, you want to see justice getting dispensed for all of this disgusting, fraudulent, really abusive behavior that's been going on that the Democrats have been allowing, benefiting from, perhaps facilitating. Well, folks, today, I think we're going to go like this. As the White House said, President Donald J. Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance are unleashing an unrelenting full-scale assault on the fraudsters, the scammers, and the corrupt operators who have looted billions from American taxpayers. The White House task force to eliminate fraud is moving at unprecedented speed and ferocity to root out the waste, abuse, and criminal exploitation of government programs that have drained billions from hardworking taxpayers. That's us. This is a direct offensive against every fraudulent scheme preying on hardworking Americans, and the results are already staggering. Here, as a matter of fact, are some of the task force's key actions and victories today. Like I said, folks, this is not just lip service. Yeah, we're going to shut down the fraud, and then they don't do anything. No. They have declared all-out war. In fact, we already have massive results, victories to talk about. February 25th, 2026, earlier this year, the Trump administration halted nearly $260 million in Medicaid payments to the state of Minnesota over rampant fraud allegations, demanding full cooperation with federal investigators. March 19th, 2026. Federal prosecutors charged 11 individuals in a major real estate and loan fraud ring preying on elderly Americans in the state of California. March 25th, 2026. The Trump administration suspended dozens of high-risk hospice and home health providers in the Los Angeles area. They're lying about it. March 30th, 2026. The Trump administration launched a new national fraud whistleblower program to empower Americans to expose waste and abuse. So if you see it, you can call it in, and hopefully it can get shut down. April 2nd, 2026. The Trump administration suspended hundreds of additional high-risk hospice and home care providers once more across the state of California. A day later, April 3rd, 2026. Federal prosecutors charged more than a dozen individuals in a $50 million hospice fraud scheme. Wow. So we're not just identifying this stuff, folks, pause. We're criminally prosecuting this stuff also, accountability. April 7th, 2026. The Department of Justice secured a guilty plea from a California fraudster accused of submitting $270 million in false reimbursement claims. Guilt plea. April 8th. The Department of Justice confirmed it currently has 8,000 active ongoing fraud cases. 8,000 active cases. That's not 8,000 individual people. Could be more. Could be 16. Could be 50,000 individual people involved in 8,000 active cases. April 8th. The task force uncovered, the fraud task force uncovered $6.3 billion in suspected fraudulent government contracts and immediately launched a sweeping investigation. April 15th, the Trump administration suspended 447 hospices and 23 home health agencies in Los Angeles, with estimated fraud between all of them exceeding $600 million. Wow. Once again, I'm going to pause. We have more to go through here. Remember the Democrats just a couple months ago, they were saying, no, there's no fraud. There's nothing going on. Don't even worry about it. In fact, you're a right-wing conspiracy theorist if you even have any suspicions of fraud. Well. April 16th, the Trump administration served criminal warrants and administrative charges on 20 Minnesota state businesses suspected of SNAP food assistance fraud. April 17th, the Department of Justice announced its newly established National Fraud Enforcement Division to enforce action in schemes totaling over $340 million in its first week alone. We've been busy. April 24th, we're not even done yet. The Small Business Administration referred, oh my gosh, 562,000 fraudulent or delinquent pandemic-era loans totaling $22 billion for aggressive collection. You lied to get a hold of these COVID-era loans, pay them back now, otherwise you're going to face criminal charges. Give us the money back. You lied. April 28th, the Department of Justice conducted targeted enforcement operations at nearly 2 dozen Minnesota child care centers suspected of systemic fraud. Minnesota child care centers. Might one of them be the Learning Center? Well, yes, actually it was. April 30th, the Department of Justice launched a West Coast Strike Force team targeting healthcare fraud across Arizona, Nevada, and Northern California. What do you notice here? You notice that pretty much all of this fraud is taking place in blue states. We've talked a lot about Minnesota, talking a lot about California, and a little bit about Arizona, Nevada. I'm sure there's fraud of all types taking place in every state. I hate to say it, but it's probably true. But the blue states, these really radically progressive, far-left blue states, they really seem to be a problem here. April 30th, the Trump administration deferred an additional $91 million in federal Medicaid funds from non-cooperating Minnesota. Minnesota continues to not cooperate with the ongoing fraud investigations. Okay, well then we are ripping away all of your federal funding. You capitulate, you comply with federal law, or you lose federal money. It's really not that complex, right? May 12th, earlier this month, the Trump administration identified over 10,000 suspected fraud cases in immigration student work programs. Wow. May 13th, the Trump administration suspended $1.4 billion frozen home, health, and hospice funding nationwide. May 13th. The Trump administration deferred $1.3 billion in federal Medicaid reimbursements for California. May 13th was a busy day. The Trump administration also halted all new Medicare enrollments for hospice providers nationwide until the fraud crisis is brought under control. No new Medicare enrollments until the fraud has been put to rest. You know, it's unfortunate that these are the circumstances we find ourselves in, but desperate times, desperate measures, as they say. Once again, May 13th, the Trump administration launched audits of Medicaid fraud control units in all 50 states. Could audit all of them. Once again, May 13th, the Trump administration blocked $60 million in fraudulent student loan applications in just the first month since deploying its new enhanced screening. Wow. May 20th, we're almost done. May 20th, the Department of Justice charged Minneapolis daycare owner featured in one of Nick Shirley's viral videos. Well, hats off to Nick Shirley, salute. So really, all of these new investigations, the entire federal government Trump administration fraud task force, I think in a lot of ways, is a direct result of Nick Shirley's on-the-ground investigative journalism. God bless him. People, like explicit people that he exposed in his videos are now facing federal charges. Good. May 21st. This is 5 days ago. The Department of Justice expanded its healthcare fraud strike force program, adding additional prosecutors to combat Medicaid fraud nationwide. A lot of Medicaid fraud, right? Common denominator here. Seems like this program is very easily taken advantage of, and now we are shutting it down. The Department of Justice also, 5 days ago, charged 15 individuals in a wide-ranging Minnesota healthcare fraud scheme, including the highest loss amount ever charged in a Medicaid case in the state, and the largest autism fraud scheme ever prosecuted. The announcement goes on to say this: this is only the beginning. The Trump administration will continue this relentless effort until every scheme is exposed, every dollar possible is recovered, and the American people's trust in their government is restored. So this was their big press release this morning, folks. Does this a little bit reinstill trust or faith in the government? Maybe it's Trump and Trump administration. You know, this is what we need to see. As far as I'm concerned, yeah, a little bit of faith has been restored here. This corruption is getting shut down. Are we all the way there yet? Is all of the fraud, waste, corruption, abuse shut down? No. It's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of work to shut all of this down across the entire country. And what matters to me is we are on the right path. And not only that we are on the right path here, but that we are picking up speed whilst going down that path, right? We're picking up momentum here. We're making some real exponential progress. Now, none other than Stephen Miller actually spoke about this entire process just the other night. Take a listen.
This is just the very, very beginning of all of government across all agencies, top-down, vice president of the task force, presidentially directed orchestrated efforts to root out the systemic looting of the American taxpayer and the pillaging of the American nation. Look, what's happening in Minnesota is one of the most egregious things that has taken place in the history of this country. The Democrat Party, Obama, Biden, really goes back to Clinton and began mass importing Somali refugees and dumping them into Minnesota and Minneapolis. Not only there, also in Maine, also into Ohio, the biggest community by far in the Twin Cities, forever transferring into and that same population of refugees, because they came to a part of the world that doesn't have or believe in the rule of law, that doesn't have or believe in the idea of following rules, abiding by regulations, systems of justice, came to Minneapolis and began the mass policing of the American taxpayer. And so what you're seeing here, case by case, revelation by revelation, is the discovery that people who are coming to our country are trying to rob us. This is,
Folks, it is just so, it's such a brutal, harsh reality check. We've got God knows how many refugees and asylum seekers. He's talking about the people that entered the country in the 90s during the Clinton administration from Somalia. We let these people into our country. We extended a helping hand. Come on, we're going to help you out. You're living in brutal conditions, genocide, famine, whatever, starvation. We're going to help you out. Come to our country, our generosity. We're going to help you out. And what do they do when they get here? They lie to us. They steal from us. They defraud us. They take advantage of us. Sometimes they even literally kill us. That is what they do in exchange for the generosity that we have given them. They kill us. And they steal from us. They lie about treating autistic children. They're stealing money from autistic American children, the elderly, the seniors, Medicaid programs. It's sickening. So not only are we shutting down the fraud, the corruption, and abuse, thank God. As a matter of fact, that is happening. I just broke all of that down. I want to see a lot of these people get sent back out of the country. We gave them a chance. They squandered it. Get the hell out. Right? Maybe that's just me. Here's what I'll tell you, though. As far as I'm concerned, all of that is what it's going to take if we truly want to put America first. Ladies and gentlemen, massive bombshell, really comprehensive. I see people all the time. Nobody ever gets arrested. There's no arrests. We need to see arrests. And I'm with you to a certain degree, right? We need more. I want more of them. But it's also important to remember we are getting there, right? We need to keep in mind just how effed up this country was. Seriously, prior to Trump getting back in the White House in January of 2025, almost a year and a half ago. Folks, our country has been destroyed in a lot of ways by 60 years, 70 years, God knows how long, of fraud, corruption, waste, abuse, globalism, you know, anti-American propaganda, etc. You know, a lot of you are older than me. You've lived through it. You've seen the slow downfall, the deterioration. Now we've got somebody in the White House that's actually willing to stand up and say, enough is enough. We're taking our country back. We're not going to, you know, continue signing off on a slow, brutal death of the nation. We're done. America's back. That said, the problems can't be solved in a week or a month or a year. We've got 70 years worth of problems. It might be the battle of my generation. I'm 32. We might be going through these struggles and trying to fix the country, undo 70 years worth of rot and decay. It might take my entire lifetime to do that. It might take 50 years to fix 70 years worth of damage. But we need to do it anyway. It must be done. It's a difficult journey. It's a very difficult journey, but it's a winnable one nonetheless, and it must be done good. These people are also everybody, make sure to do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. It helps a lot. We have another big story in the fight. You want to talk about Democrats? Really just play for inside. Hope everybody here had a good Memorial Day weekend. You know, maybe good isn't a right word. I don't know. Some people, they dispute that. Oh, you're not supposed to say Happy Memorial Day. You know, I'm going to push back on that, actually. I think you can be happy that we have Memorial Day. I think you can be happy and grateful that we have so many people that have put their lives and sacrifices for this country. I am happy to be in a country where we have so many patriots that have answered the call, that have sacrificed everything to make this country what it is. I am happy to be in that country and in this nation. It's a very unique thing we have. A lot of other nations, they don't have people that would do that. I'm happy that we live in a country with people, with heroes like that. You know what I mean? So I'm happy that we have a Memorial Day. We have a day dedicated to these people. You know? Anyway, I'm just ranting. Amen, amen. God bless the United States of America and everyone that sticks up for it. We have another big story. Let's go and talk about the Democrats. The Democrats, excuse me here. You know, I think some of our appreciation for Memorial Day, I think they really echo at some time. Let me explain what I mean by that. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, right this very moment, the Democrats are absolutely terrified. Seriously. After making what is perhaps the single most disgusting social media post of all time. Yesterday afternoon, the Democrats, well, they actually tried to double back and delete the post after getting absolutely torched by really pretty much our entire country. What do I mean by this? Well, you see, yesterday was Memorial Day. And as all of us actual patriotic Americans were busy reflecting on the sacrifices that have been made to make this country great in the first place, well, Democrats, they were pretty much doing the exact opposite. They were instead taking the opportunity to virtue signal against President Trump while standing on the graves of dead American patriots. In fact, I want you to take a look at this. This is what the official Democrat page on X, this is their official party page, posted on X.com yesterday afternoon during the morning. Today, we honor the American heroes who made the ultimate sacrifice in Trump's war with Iran. Remembering the Americans who have died in Trump's war with Iran, posting 13 American heroes that have lost their lives over the last 2 months or so. Now, people rightfully saw this and said, what is going on here? You're taking the...
I'll be back. Is my mom not? So you didn't see my power. Yo, dog, you there? Nice, dude. This fucking faggot doesn't even have a mic.
This fucking thing retarded, dude.
Apparently. Here,
Hi.
go to the counter where that red mug is and tell me if those are almonds or peanuts.
Nice, dude. Fucking faggot doesn't want to eat almonds or peanuts, dog. Why don't you go to that fucking red cup and fucking check it out?
So I put them there.
Lazy fuck. Dog, can I ask you a question, dog?
Sure, dog.
What if you were drowning and your girlfriend was there? And you're like, fucking help, I'm drowning. And she's like, don't worry, I'll throw something so you can fucking grab onto it, stay afloat. And she fucking throws you a barbell, dog.
Yeah, it's not like nothing's holding on to it.
No, it's just a fucking 45-pound barbell, dog.
Well, then I guess she wants me to fucking die.
Yeah, and what if you like, you know, like your last thing you see is her walking away with like some other dude on the beach, and they're like laughing and
Oh, but I
flirting.
guess it would be like the mummy when she abandons him after he spent all that energy and risk to bring her back.
Yeah, she was pretty hot too, dog.
That's pretty tragic too, because they get you to feel bad for him. Not that like, I don't know, it's the craziest thing ever, but that was fucked up, man.
Didn't you like fucking like save her before?
He said he at least tried to bring her back, and then I think the priest brought her back, and then yeah, he saved her multiple times. It's a dumb whore.
Dude. I think. Right.
What? Say that again.
I think she got eaten by the though, right?
I
she?
think so.
Oh fuck. I guess that's good at least.
Yeah, in a bit.
Take two.
Oh. Dog, you gotta take your pain meds. Come on now. Don't forget.
I already did.
Take them right now. Take them right now. You fucking little shit before you forget.
Probably should though. I wonder what would happen if I just took a bunch of those.
You'd probably start to levitate up into the sky while looking down at your body.
Nice, dude. Does that mean I'm fucking dead-a-roni?
I don't know, dude. What is dead or alive? If you can fucking still see your body on the ground, are you really dead then?
I'd say that's probably the closest thing there will be to death, if you can actually experience it. So yeah.
And then you just, you look up and you just see, just like the most beautiful fucking thing you've ever seen. There's like a fucking sexy angel woman, with her arm out reaching for you, and then you just feel a tug in your lower back, and you feel the fucking pain shoot up your back. And then you come back to your body, and then the paramedics are there above you like, hey, are you okay? What would you say then?
And she's gone?
Yeah, they revived you. You're back on Earth. Aren't you so grateful, dude?
Holy fuck, that's so troll. fucked
Well, isn't
up.
that what people with like near-death experiences say? Like they were about to basically go back to God or whatever, and then they got resuscitated.
Assessment citation, Sovereign.
Oh, maybe. I I guess, yeah. It's pretty fucked up.
Well, there you go, dog. Dog, you're only supposed to take one of those pills, dog.
Yeah, well, that's too bad.
Dog, that's not safe, dog. Don't you value your life,
I
dog?
remember how people were using the word safe during the pandemic, dude. It was just so cringe. Stay safe. It just sounds so gay when you're talking about getting a COVID,
Whoa!
bro. Fucking hated it.
Stay
That's so.
saying stay safe is gay, dude?
No,
What
no, no.
the fuck?
Never have we ever said stay safe,
Nice.
meaning not getting sick. That's not. It's not a thing that's ever happened.
Oh, we've never done that in the human history?
Name a single time or person
No,
that's
I'm
ever said
asking
that.
you. We've never done that in human history?
Yeah, I don't think that would have been the thing that people would say even during the Spanish.
Even in plague times? You little shit?
I don't know if
You
someone would
fucking
say
faggot?
stay safe.
Fucking
I think
piece
they
of
would say
shit.
something else. Like you say stay safe when you're, driving during a snowstorm.
Coming back over here.
Dog, I can't wait to have dinner, dog. We're gonna have those weird squiggly tubes that fold in on themselves. I don't know if it's gonna be good.
Weird squiggly tubes.
Yeah, I don't know what they're called to get a picture or so.
RJ900 coming in next. From Cincinnati, Jazz 708. Got this Rouge plane here and the 330. The Rouge was 1956.
Hey, fuck this headset, dude. You want me to share a video with you?
Sure, dog. If you want to share a video, dog.
And the 330.
It helped me better my life, dog.
Starline slippery.
I think it can do the same for you, dog.
Nice. This is gonna be some fucking retard video, dude.
I was depressed, but now I'm
Okay.
cured, dog.
Yeah? You're cured after watching it? What the fuck does that do for you?
Whoa. What are you trying to say, dude?
Dog, that's like a fucking drug, dude.
But dog, isn't that amazing, dog? She can cure fucking depression.
Wait till you hear it from the.
Nice.
Ain't it amazing what women are doing with their freedom?
Yes, dude, that's fucking lit.
Before. After. Before.
Before what? Nice. I'm just gonna assume she has at least something related to OnlyFans, because that's a pretty interesting channel.
Whoa! Why are you assuming that?
Because the marketing is actually pretty good. She, her and her other hot friend said before and then after, and they look like they just got fucking railed. So that's
Talking
why.
about? Friend, what are you talking about? Nice.
Dog, look at the fucking channel, dog.
Dog, is she wife material, dog?
No.
Oh,
Dog, she's the material that you use once every couple days. So you don't have to clean up after yourself.
nice.
Because that's the worst part. You know, I feel like, even though it may take longer, I feel like just taking a full shower after is much better than just the normal. I feel like that shit's so annoying, dude.
What? What are you talking about, dog?
I don't know, man. It's just all that.
No, tell me what you're talking about, dog.
Nah, I'm good, dude.
Whoa. What are you talking about, jerking off, dude?
Yeah, I guess.
Bro, do you not fucking have a fucking Kleenex to shoot into?
Even then, I don't trust it, dude.
You don't trust it? What the
Still, I
fuck
still feel gross
talking
after.
about? Nice. Bro, remember when I told you, like, I just had, like, a pile of fucking
Oh,
gum
nice,
tissues?
dude. It's fucking insane.
Yeah. And luckily, it hasn't gotten back to that level yet.
Damn, dog, I still
Yeah,
haven't
dude, that
watched all
was
my
fucking crazy.
videos on my other account to give myself views.
Oh, damn, dog. Whose fault is that?
I'll just watch my fucking gameplays in the background then. Just fucking faggot doesn't like my videos.
Who doesn't like your videos? I know you're not talking about me.
Yeah, dog. Who liked my last video? Me, my new account, and my dad's account. So you didn't fucking like that shit, dog.
You got your dad to like your
No,
video?
I did it.
Does your dad know about your videos?
No.
You should show him the dating one, see what he thinks of that one.
Okay, so I'm gonna read you a headline where it says 52%. Shut your faggot mouth. It says 52% of women aged 20 to 39 in the U.S. are now child-free. To me, the way they post
Yes,
that,
child free. Yes, they fucking made it sound good. Yeah, I
they
know.
make it sound good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, dude, that's what they do, right? What do you expect? Oh god. Yeah, I wish I was born like fucking 6.5 feet tall, handsome, dude. I wouldn't be fucking complaining about the world then. And rich.
What was the first thing?
6.5 feet tall. You know, I feel like eventually 6.5 feet is going to be the new cutoff point. Like, oh no, you're too short. You're only 6'5". I feel like that's where we're headed. You know what I'm saying, dog? I don't understand. Why don't you just ask a girl out? Hmm?
Yeah, dog.
Answer the question. Answer my
What's your
fucking
faggot question?
you piece of shit. Why don't you just ask out a girl?
'Cause, dog, doesn't fucking do shit.
So you're white, you're taller than 6 feet, but it's not gonna do shit. Still got all your hair on your head. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? You know how we say chicks are living on recruit mode, dude? You're living on recruit mode in terms of guy difficulty. I mean, no, dude, you really are. You're white in a white country. You know, it's hard to say that now, but yeah, that's debatable. But you're white, so you're probably the most sought after race in terms of dating.
Well, it seems the white
all the hair
girls
in your
like a
head?
lot of the night riding. You know, I don't know.
Nice. Well, most part,
I
I'd
definitely,
say
I,
whites still date whites.
I definitely think a large portion of white chicks hate their own race, so they don't want to be with their own race.
Damn, dog. Well, doesn't fucking
Have a job,
dismiss
so it
what I
doesn't
said
help either.
before. Well, have you ever heard of like the homeless guys picking up chicks, sleeping with like hundreds of chicks at their place?
Yeah, the bad boys. Yeah, I've heard of those.
The bad boys. What are you talking about, dog? They're just homeless guys, dog.
Yeah, every single one of those situations are when it's a bad boy. Every time, 100% of the
How
time.
fucking gay are you, dude? Stop saying bad boy, you faggot. You ain't some fucking woman, alright?
Nice.
Stop being gay.
How was that
Don't
gay,
ever
dude? That's
fucking say
retarded.
that. Stop fucking saying bad boys, alright? You sound gay.
Nice.
No. Seriously, stop saying it. You're fucking gay.
What should I say?
Yeah, those just I was just talking about homeless dudes getting chicks. So, what's your excuse?
Not homeless.
Bro, over 6 feet tall, You're white. You still have all the fucking hair on your head. You got a car. Bro, like, what the fuck?
Go to a mall and look at the guys that these girls get with.
Bro, if you ever want to fucking come down to fucking veteran difficulty, I'm here waiting for you, dude.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah, dude.
This guy dated fucking.
I'm here waiting for you,
2
dude.
weeks and he's talking about recruit or fucking veteran difficulty.
Bro, yeah, you want to count fucking middle school, dude?
Why not, dog?
Is middle school even real? Would you consider that like actual dating?
Wouldn't that be? If you got laid, wouldn't it be real too?
Oh, I didn't get
Not
laid.
That's 100% real, but
Wait,
it's still something.
wait. So you said Mill Canyon, right? You realize like that ended in like a week, right?
Yeah, dog. It's more than
That
me,
ended
dog.
in like a week. No, well, it's nothing. It was literally nothing. Yeah, well, hey, I didn't get anything in high school. Not one thing in high school. At least you, at that party, you had some fucking chick grind on you.
Nice. Don't even know her name, dude.
So what does that matter? At least you got something. Fucking hell. Yeah, dude, you wanna fucking turn your skin brown? That's what I thought.
Yeah, and fucking.
That's what I
have a good
thought.
Job quicker.
Oh. This man said he'll get a job quicker.
Oh yeah, me and Fees were talking about it the other day. Basically, said that should be how it, or that's how it should be.
Well, when was this?
Like maybe Sunday.
Oh, okay. Oh, was that the night you texted me?
Maybe either yesterday or the day before. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I think. Oh. Holy cunt. Bitch. Holy fuck, dude. This guy fucking talks about how he went to a club and like every chick wanted to fuck him, dude. Like
Nice,
this guy's talking
dude.
about having difficulty.
Fake
Oh, I can't
news.
fucking get none. Fucking faggot,
Fake
dude.
news.
It's like a rich kid coming to a poor kid's house,
Will you discover the map and compare
saying,
it to
"Oh,
real-life
dude, my
pictures?
home
Almost every
sucks,
part
dude.
of
I
Tokyo
like
is
your home
fiction and
more."
not a one-to-one rebuild of Japan.
Fucking
It was,
retarded,
however,
dude.
based on how Japan looks in real life. But some famous places, like these roads, this temple, and a few other things, are one-to-one rebuilds. Tokyo, though, is a different story. Around 50 to 60% of Tokyo's streets are almost one-to-one rebuilds from real life. Some streets are just a bit wider for better gameplay, and some streets are closer to each other.
Guy's got
than real life.
50,000
Otherwise, Tokyo would be
cars at his
sightseeing
house.
Locations like the Tokyo Tower are
Fucking rich family.
Yeah, you know what happens when there's a chick that is apparently into cars? Doesn't fucking matter, dog.
Yeah, chicks aren't into fucking cars, dude.
Even if they are, doesn't
Have you
fucking
not
matter,
seen those
dog.
videos? Have you seen those videos where it's like the guy goes up to a chick and she's like, "Nah, fuck you," and then as soon as he goes to
Well, that's why she's a
his
gold digger.
expensive
They're not
car, they're like,
actually into
"Oh
cars.
no."
This opportunity Memorial Day when
I
we
got
should
to
be
go into another chick's fucking
memorializing these
condo,
people.
dude.
Instead, you're sort
Just
of
talking
standing on
about
the
how
graves of these
chicks
dead
don't like
patriots
me.
in order to take a jab
Crazy, dude.
at President
Fucking,
Trump.
Oh my
fucking
god,
commits attempted
this guy is
murder.
fucking,
This guy wants me to go with
dude.
the fucking chick that almost killed someone, dude. Nice.
Well, guess what? I want to say they ultimately
You know,
deleted the post. They got
some
so
men
much
fucking
This
die of
guy's a
thirst while
gay
others drown,
faggot,
dude.
that you would do this.
That's all I'm gonna say, man.
They deleted the post. Take a look at this. Democrats are getting called out after trying to quietly delete
I'm out here
a Memorial
fucking
Day
jerking off
post
till the sun
that
comes up, but this guy's
politicized
getting pussy.
This fucking
fallen
gay
US
faggot has
service
girls
members
texting
to
him to
take a
come over. He
jab
doesn't even have to
at
fucking pay or
President
whatever. Like,
The
fuck
post,
that,
made from
dog.
the official Democrats account,
Oh, dog, I'll drive you
originally
home.
featured a photo of the 13 service
Fucking gay
members who have
faggot.
died in the ongoing war with Iran and was captioned, "Remembering the Americans who have died in Trump's war with Iran."
Nice.
Critics originally described this partisan post as vile and disrespectful. Do you agree, yes or no, in the comments? Is this vile? Yeah, yes. Is it disrespectful? Yes. What's more, there was a massive new wave of scrutiny calling out the party for trying to sweep the backlash under the rug by deleting the post. The official Republican Party page here said, "Hey, Democrats, why did you delete the post in which you were politicizing the death of fallen service members? What's going on here?" Really, it is just sickening. But I want to show you something here. The Democrats also have another problem here. I'm sure some of you have seen this. Right now, it's because of behavior like this that we just talked about a moment ago, their Memorial Day post. Well, their national approval rating is sitting right now at an absolutely catastrophic, deep in the crater, 20% approval rating for the Democrat Party nationally, 20%. National disapproval rating for the Democrat Party, 72%. And like I said, it's because of behavior like this. It's anti-American behavior, anti-American rhetoric like this. But you know what? The Democrats also have another problem. And we're going to call this a talent problem, if you can call it that right now. What I mean by that, well, I'll give you an example here. The Democrats' main state Senate candidate going into midterms, a guy named Graham Plattner, you might have heard of him. He's getting a lot of media coverage right now. This guy literally has a Nazi Totenkopf tattoo on his chest. Yes, I kid you not, folks. This is the current Democrat main state Senate candidate. That is a Nazi Totenkopf tattoo. Totenkopf means dead head. This was one of the signs of the SS, the Schutzstaffel.
Whoa.
In World War II. He has a tattoo on his chest. And he's actually their top candidate. Images show main Democrat Senate candidate Graham Plattner. It's almost like comical. A self-described socialist with a tattoo that appears to be the Totenkopf. Now, after this got exposed, he got a cover-up
Gotta have
tattoo.
some
He tried to say,
ginger
"Oh,
ale.
I got the Nazi tattoo accidentally." He's since covered it up, but a little bit too late, I think. And so
Can't
the
keep
reason I
drinking
bring this up
monsters,
today
dog.
is because this
How much sugar does
tattoo, this
one
Nazi
can
tattoo
of
on his
whatever
chest
it's
has
called
caused
have?
a little bit of infighting
I
inside
don't
the
know. I don't
Democrat
have the
Party.
can. I just have
Take a look at
the big
this.
bottle.
In an interview with CNN on Monday, that's yesterday,
Just pour your drinks into a
Democrat
cup.
Representative Jake Auchincloss, who's a Democrat from Maine, says he personally finds Graham Plattner's
Oh.
tattoos disqualifying and hopes that Maine voters agree with him. Auchincloss said this: "I find
Whoa,
that
dog,
tattoo
it's
and
almost
his
time to
commentary
make
about the
some
tattoo to be
fucking
personally disqualifying. I hope that Maine voters ultimately agree with me." So this is a Democrat speaking out against this other Democrat for having a Nazi tattoo. But this is where things get a little bit unhinged. Okay, we're just getting started with the story here, because many of the Democrats' top
So would you and Fee
influencers,
talk about?
Hassan Piker, Mehdi Hassan,
What?
Saikat Chakrabarti.
What did you and
Political
Fees
commentator
talk
Monday, who's
about?
actually a sitting Democrat congressional representative, Saikat Chakrabarti. Then
About
dogpiled
what?
on Democrat Representative Jake Auchincloss,
Like the Odyssey stuff and
effectively telling him to shut up and get back in line. How dare you criticize a fellow Democrat? You don't believe me?
yeah,
Take
he
a
would
look at this.
he
You've got the
would
posts.
argue that
Hassan Piker, Hassan Abi, whatever his name is,
since minorities had it
criticizing
harder
Democrat
back in the
Rep.
day,
Jake
they should have it
Auchincloss.
easier now.
Another one.
Instead of it being just equal.
Chakrabarti is not a member of Congress. They're campaigning right
Basically,
now.
he was
Yeah,
arguing.
she said that.
Yeah,
So
he
it's
was
all these
arguing for equity
foreign influencers
versus
that are saying, "How dare you?" This is the current
like
state
equality
of the
or equal
2026
opportunity.
Democrat Party. The 2026 Democrat Party is a place
'Cause it's
where
interesting
people
how
named Mehdi Hassan
the
and
minorities
Saikat
should
lecture
get benefits
an
because of what
American
happened before, but what if they
named
just came here a
Jake
month ago? Should they get the
about
same
why he
benefits of
needs to
the
support a
people
guy
that
with a
were
Nazi
apparently
tattoo. It's
affected
almost
by
comical. If it wasn't
things
so
that
insane
happened
and like depressing for the
100 to
Democrats,
300
there
years
would
ago?
almost be an ounce of humor here.
Which
It
I
really is just
unfortunately
psychotic,
didn't bring that up
and it
because I
really
always
is
forget
just
shit. But
completely insane. Something else I want to show you here, because Graham Plattner here, who had the Nazi tattoo, actually has more
Yeah,
problems
dog.
going into midterms. He said this, and I quote, it's all coming out. "You don't have much experience with Latin American hookers, do you? Huh? Even more deleted Reddit comments tied to Maine Democrat Senate candidate Graham Plattner are now surfacing as scrutiny over his online history intensifies. In newly discovered posts,
he didn't
from
know that
2012, Graham Plattner discussed
to be eligible for the
prostitution
Oscars, you need to
overseas
have their like
and
DEI
defended men who cheated on
requirements.
their
He didn't know
wives
that.
while abroad with prostitutes, writing that infidelity
fucking
and loyalty
stupid.
to fellow soldiers were not mutually exclusive. So it sounds like he was talking about service members overseas cheating on their wives with foreign prostitutes and how that's not a big deal. The report goes on to say here, the comments add to a growing archive linked to Plattner that also includes insulting the U.S. Army, mocking Purple Heart recipients, using slurs, God forbid, and expressing support for political violence. We've seen that. Creating new headaches for the Democrats in his bid to unseat Republican Senator Suzanne Collins. So really, like we said, the Democrat Party, they've got a little bit...
Oh, one thing that I thought was interesting, he doesn't care anything about birth rates or anything like that and why it's happening. He actually believes that people aren't having kids because of financial reasons, which I said, then how is it always whatever country you're in, why is it always the poor people having more kids? And I told him, and I compared.
Well, I can see why you said, like, if everything is so expensive here, then I can understand that.
Yeah, but when in history has that ever, like, people don't fucking care about that shit as much as having kids and having a family and all that stuff. Like, when has it ever stopped anyone? By that logic, we
Um,
wouldn't exist.
so like if you could only afford if you could only rent a room for yourself, you're saying that wouldn't stop you from having a kid?
Uh, the only I would stop me from having a kid if I physically or socially didn't or couldn't have a girl. Like, again,
Oh, why a girl specifically? Oh no, you mean a girlfriend.
yeah.
Okay.
No, that's not gonna. That's what
So
I.
no, like okay, so the two of you, if the two of you can only get like a bed, like a one room type of deal, so everything's so expensive, you'd still have a kid.
Yeah, why not?
Well, how are you gonna manage that? It's just gonna be the three of you in like a bedroom.
Maybe. I feel
Yeah,
like
dude.
if
Okay. I mean, I personally wouldn't want that. I would want more, but
obviously we would
I don't
you
know.
would want more, but so what? Everyone just magically wants more now and puts that over having kids
Well, I
versus
don't know if it's more. I think they just want what they were promised.
what were we promised?
If you go to school, um, there's a path for you to get a good paying career, and then that career can pay for things like a car, a decent home. Um, you're also promised economic stability. Food prices are going to be
Yeah, and I would say
good. You're not going to have food insecurity.
one of the reasons why none of that is happening is also why um, no one's having kids. I don't think one causes the other. I think they're both the same thing.
So you think if people started having more kids, that would alleviate those issues?
Not necessarily. Well, partially, but I would also say that, like I made this argument, or they started to make this argument to him. It's all propaganda. Like, how is it? Oh, I'm not having kids because I can't afford it, when 8 to 99% of all people ever were poor. So, this is the wealthiest we've ever been, basically, as a society, and we're having the birth rate is lower.
But okay, but then what do you mean when you say the wealthiest, right? Like the wealth can be concentrated in fewer hands, relatively, though.
No, but even in a
It's like
relative sense,
it's like
we are all far more wealthy and capable than before.
are we though? Like you would say we're more capable than like back in like the 60s?
Shit wasn't like perfect back then either. Even 200 years ago, it's like
Well, yeah, I know.
how are the birth rates going up when people just got here from England, and they're building a fucking log cabin, and they actually need to hunt. They had less
Well,
than we do.
well, I'm sure it. Well, I don't know specifically about 200 years ago, but going back to like the 60s,
Yes,
it's like you said with your
even bottom
grandfather.
of the barrel that were even people worse off, like the worst off back then, would be having kids. Like I
I
said before,
mean,
it's
I
always the
guess.
poorest people.
Well, I don't
The
know. I don't know.
the poorest people have the most kids, and also the richest people, or at least above average to rich, have less kids. So it's almost like we're not having kids because we don't have money, but then it's usually the rich people that don't have as many kids as the poor people.
Hold on. So, would you be down to walk? Shit, you could probably invite fees. This would be probably an interesting conversation.
I don't know. Kind of walked today and I didn't feel great, but maybe.
I mean, we don't have to like walk. We could do like what we did last time. I guess just like chill by the swings. It's up to you. Well, it's like what you said with your grandpa, right? Like he worked a job at a grocery store and he was able to afford all that, right?
Well,
And
he was a
most people,
bartender, but
yeah, but like I remember you mentioned like somebody can just work basically as a cashier or a bagger, right? And they had enough for not only themselves but for other people, right? Like
but I'm saying even bottom of the
I'm
barrel
just
back
saying,
then. Even people that work
well,
shitty factory jobs.
but were they being paid like with wages that kept up with prices though?
Okay, I'll say, even if I grant you that, no matter
I don't know.
what they're getting paid, if they're poor, so it could be bottom 10%, they're still going to be having kids.
I mean, yeah, like that
Okay.
tracks. Like I know like birth
what
rates are high in like Africa or
what
whatever,
do you
but
think? What do you think is a bigger reason? Because people just don't have the money, which even people that have the money will say that, so it's not even always the case. Or do you think it's because dating is the worst it's probably ever been in Western history? And women are propagandized to not want kids, hate children, think it's going to kill them no matter the level of medical technology we have, and that they have to go to school and work for like 5 or 10 years before they can have a kid, which is just happens to be the least likely time to be able to have kids while they're fertile. Like how,
I'm not gonna say it's like one over the other. Like yeah, like all of that factors into it. Are you asking me what contributes to it more?
I don't think the not having enough money is even a factor. I think that's either cope or part of the propaganda. I
Really?
that just doesn't make
Not
sense
even a
to me.
factor?
It what, maybe 10% max?
Okay. I mean, I don't know the statistics on it, but
Like
I know more
like
people are
the
working multiple jobs now than ever.
yeah, but even the women that give that excuse have a lot
Well, no,
of
I'm
money.
saying.
So it's not it's more so a
Well, no,
cultural or a belief thing. It's not an actual financial reason.
But okay, well, you said that's what women are saying or whatnot. Like that's the thing that they say
Yeah,
because of
like
money.
they can give you that as a reason, but
Yeah, but what if a dude gives you that as a reason? Like, let's say he'll say number one, yeah, dating is terrible, but then let's say you ask him a second reason, he's like, dude, I'm not making enough money. I can barely afford anything for myself, right?
well, at least
So like that's
there's
where I think it comes into a factor,
but at
right?
least there's the implication that we know that dudes have to do that and have had to. So at least
Have
that
had
one
to
would make
earn money.
sense. Yeah. And at least be able to support in some way.
Well, like, isn't that the reality though? Like, isn't there like
It's
a
always
an
been the reality
unemployment
though.
crisis?
But what like but what about when
But you said
unemployment
that
was
in your
worse
video.
before?
You remember your dating video? You remember there was a part in it where you said like if you basically, I don't know if it was the dating video or the job video. I think it was the job video where you said basically like if you're unemployed, it basically cuts you out of the dating market, right? And like it makes sense, right? Like if there's an unemployment crisis, and even if you're employed but you're earning low wages because everything is so high in price, it effectively cuts you out too, right? So that's why I said like it does matter to a degree.
I think one thing comes first though, because when did this all start to happen? When did wages start to go down? Birth rates started to go down.
I know. When women entered the workforce, that's what you're gonna say, right?
Well, it's not even what I was gonna say, but it's just when it all started to happen, and then it got really bad in the past 15 years.
Well,
I
wouldn't
I
you
I
also include
I,
globalization as well?
I just think that being their primary reason is just cope, whether they don't want to be honest or whether they've just been conditioned to think that.
Oh, cope for women? Like when women say, "Oh, it's about the money."
Well, especially for them, but also a little bit for the men as well.
Why the men? Why would it be cope? Like if a dude came to you, like if you ask him like, "Hey, now why are you still single?"
Because men in history have had children and then um um not proceeded but succeeded to provide, whether it's in high amounts or low. That's just how it's always been. So
High amounts or low,
it's
referring
not
to what?
it's in terms of in terms of provisioning. So before it wasn't always like, oh, I'm gonna do this and so I can get this. It's most of the not most of the time, but a lot of the time it's been this. This has happened or is going to happen, so then I have to do this. So I have to provide. They don't just wait. Like it's
Can
weird.
you
It's
put
like,
that
oh,
in like a flesh and bone example?
so
Like so I know
instead of
exactly what you're talking.
waiting until you think you're ready, which is what people are
Okay.
doing now, which I would even argue they a lot of people don't even get there. Um,
Well, yeah, some people stay single forever, right? So,
but like with your parents, they would meet at 19. What the fuck are you gonna do? Or whenever they met, what the fuck are you gonna do at 19? You can't get a good job, but it still happens. That's how it's always been.
oh,
And even if it happened a little later, it wasn't because, oh, I'm waiting until then. It's just because it hasn't happened. There was no like mass hysteria about, oh, I need to do this before I can even settle down.
you think it's hysteria though? You don't think it doesn't have like any grounding in like reality?
Yeah, like a little bit, but not as much. Like I said, if the reasons we're giving now were the case, we wouldn't we'd either not exist or we'd be like 3,000 years behind or like 10,000 years behind. I would still be in fucking Italy or whatever. You'd be in wherever the people came from before they migrated to Guyana.
I mean, like I get what you're saying, but I feel like yeah, like sure, those times had difficulty, but like there's like a different kind of difficulty now that
Yeah,
I
it's
don't think
more
even like
social.
boomers understand. You think
Yeah,
it's just social though?
I think it's mostly social. Yeah, we've been conditioned to completely go against our nature. Why do you think why do you think so many men are fucking depressed and women are like on the most medication um that they've ever been? They're the I'm pretty sure they're the least happy they've ever been. even though they have everything that they claim they wanted.
You know, although like I've heard you say this before, and I've said it myself before. When I go out into the world, I don't think I really I get the impression from women that they're actually just like perfectly fine. And men on. Like that's the impression I get.
Say the last part your mic cut out.
I like when I go outside, when I go downtown and I look at chicks and all that, like I get the impression, even though like I understand where you're coming from and like again, like I've said it myself that yeah, they're probably the most miserable or whatever. But like when I bring that to reality and I see what I see, I get the impression that they're probably doing the best that they've ever done.
Well, financially,
Like,
yeah,
like what I mean is like
but mentally, no.
you don't think so? Like every time I see them, they're always in their friend groups. They're always like smiling. They're always happy.
Yeah, that's
They
not
definitely
really a
go out more than a
determination
lot of them.
on their actual mental state or their actual happiness either. They're the most stressed. They're the most
But you can be
depressed.
certain of that.
That's what the data shows, dude. There's like, if you had a gun to my head, I couldn't debate against that. Like,
That's what the
well,
data shows.
I could kind of use the same argument against that. It's like when you go out, do you really like look at dudes and be like, oh, like they all want to kill themselves? I wouldn't necessarily say that either. I wouldn't say just going out in public is a good indication of reality.
So let's say you earn like 2,000 a month. Um, your car insurance eats into that. Your bills and utilities eats into that. Um, groceries or whatever it eats into that. You know, whatever else, medical bills, well, whatever, gas. Um, and you're left with basically a fraction of your starting amount. You don't think like that plays like a mental factor in like why people are like, you know what, I'm supposed to be providing for another mouth on top of this, like I could barely afford myself.
Well, yeah, but that's kind of when you just say you make do. That's how it's always been. Like we've never had this much access to food. Like like some of the poorest areas have the fattest people.
Was that because they're eating the cheapest food though?
Um, I guess it could be, but
Those
a
people are
lot
just
of it.
eating McDonald's every day.
They're eating a lot of it though. Like you can feed your kids McDonald's or cheap food. Doesn't have to be bad.
Oh yeah, that's also a thing that comes into factor. Like, I guess people they they would be more enticed to have a kid if the quality of life was going to be better for the kid than it was for them. And I feel like people's outlook on the economy
But
is it's getting worse and
everyone
worse.
always argues, oh, like medical things.
I'm just saying that's what I think.
Yeah,
That's what I
I
think
think
people
that's
are
cope
thinking.
too.
But like, is it cope if it's just a woman saying that though?
It doesn't matter who's saying it. If it doesn't make sense, then yeah, I would say it's cope.
It doesn't make sense.
To say, okay, Say it again.
If people feel like we're still in a like an economic downtrend, right, where things are going to get more and more expensive, things are just going to get worse and worse. People don't really have trust in their governments anymore.
Okay, so if you
Do you
don't,
think that would
so
affect?
if the economy's going down, and um you don't trust your government, so the solution is to not replace your population and basically give the government the same amount of power but over less people, so a weaker populace.
Well, I don't even think it's about their processing as making the government more powerful relatively. I think it's just this is not improving. I'm not going to bring a child into this mess.
As they're not trying to, I don't think people that think that are trying to improve it either. I think the people that have that mindset are the
Well, I think the
exact
people who
people.
think that, no, but I think the people who think that are like barely getting by. Like that's what I'm trying to say. Like they feel like they're barely getting by, right?
But what about the people that can afford it? Let's just go to that. The people that can afford it and are choosing not to.
Well, yeah, that's a different discussion, right? But I'm
I
like
think
I thought we were
it's
talking
this,
like bottom of the
but,
barrel.
I would say mentally it's the same thing. Like there's no disconnect. Oh, because one person just doesn't want kids and the other person says it's because of financial reasons, but in history that's never been the case. So like I don't get where the connection is.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's like kind of a situation where somebody's on the real estate market for months and months, and nothing suitable comes, like in terms of a house or even like a condo that has like multiple bedrooms or whatever. And they're like, yeah, this isn't looking so good. And then more expenses on top of that. It just doesn't look good economically. I guess it's just going to be us. I get what you're saying, right? But I just don't think people necessarily want the hardship of a child when they themselves don't feel like they can manage themselves.
I just think that's why I think it's mental and the social thing, because that outlook just that's I don't even know if that's a human outlook. Like we've never thought like that in any society ever. I don't even know if the fucking Mayans thought of that, and they fucking chopped each other's heads off all day.
Yeah, but like, did mines like have to deal with like taxes and like parking tickets and like getting fined for parking on a boulevard and like having to meet like fucking I don't know. Did they have homeowners associations back then? Did they have a concept of debt? Like, I feel like we have such a complex society compared to people back then
Well,
that
they're
it took up a lot less headspace.
even though it's more complex, it's also different in ways where back then would have had its negatives as well. And yeah, of course, they were taxed and had fucking their government doing all that. But even then, like that's never stopped people. Even with all that, that's never stopped people.
I mean, like back then, what were really your worries back then? Like aside from being killed by like another tribe or by
Being
the
killed by another
fucking
tribe or a
head dude,
wild
it's
animal, or getting some sort of sickness. By,
yeah. I mean,
by the logic of today, where people are like, "Oh, the quality of life isn't as good," but then they'll also make the argument that why would you want to go back 100 years ago and live there? All of the medical advances didn't exist, and it's like they're contradicting themselves.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess, but like, don't you have situations where, you know, you could basically
I
go
think worrying about
financially
parking tickets
bankrupt?
and all that is
I was just,
it's a like no like even
yeah,
going
like
to
I,
taxes, it's like that's pretty trivial. Where
yeah, I admit that is trivial,
no
but
no
like
but
for instance,
that
like the,
no but
yeah,
your examples is basically an amalgamation of what they claim to be the reasons. Where okay,
but can't it play a part though?
sure, but you know what happens? When you get taxed and then you have to move to another fucking land that you've never been to before, then you kill the people that were trying to oppress you before, and then you make your own fucking place or colony or whatever. Like, you just have to deal with shit if you're gonna give up. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me.
I understand. I understand. There will always be challenges for each generation, for each time period. I understand that.
And I think one thing
But
where
if people,
the what is it the cycle of strongmen create good times create weak. I think we're in the we're all I think we're dumb more than we're weak, but we're extremely weak. And I would say a lot of people are fucking anti-human, first of all, too. Like, a lot of people don't like humanity as a whole. My sister would be one. She doesn't want a kid just because she doesn't like. She thinks it's weird that someone her age would have 2 kids. That's not because she can't afford kids. That's a social engineering not end, but like result.
yeah, I mean, yeah, fair enough. I just, I don't know. Whenever I look at something news related, or
It's like looking at this, right?
when I just look at my bank, well, just for one moment, when I go to the bank, and you know, like how you can print off your account balance.
Yeah.
I go there, and sometimes people just leave their, you know, their printouts like right by the ATM, and I'm just like, how are people living? How are people expected to care for themselves and care for another when like these account balances are so fucking low every week, right? And I get it, like when you know if there's a will, there's a way, and like it kind of takes a push to to get further results, right? And a kid will definitely do that. You'll work harder than you did
like,
previously, but I just don't think people just don't they don't believe it anymore. Like they don't believe in it.
So, what about like before when we were talking about about at least the dude where he has to achieve something before, but it's like even if you have nothing, right, and you can't afford a place to live, like I don't know what the percentage is, but I'd have to say 90+% of people have a parent they could stay with, because that's how a lot of things happened before, where like the village would help out, or they would stay at the family home. It's like with
Well, there's no village now.
but you have a house now. You have a family, right? So,
Well, outside of your immediate family, but what if you don't have immediate family? Like, what if your parents are like in a retirement home? What if they've already passed away, right? Like, there's some people in those situations.
Assuming they didn't leave you the house or something, leave you something. Because I would say that
I don't know. I would assume
I would say that's an outlier. But like, let's say your brother and his girlfriend, if they couldn't afford a place, because they were having a kid. What's abnormal about them living at your house? Even if you wouldn't like it, right? Let's just say like.
Yeah, I
Let's just.
definitely wouldn't like it. I would probably try to get the hell out of there. But man, I mean, I guess it's not that uncommon with Guyanese households.
No, I would just say any
I
household.
don't know
That's
for
pretty
what.
normal.
Well, hold on. Well, I would say like for Western cultures, um, I feel like it's kind of like ingrained in the culture that once the kid turns 18, he heads off to college. He or she is basically independent. They move out. They get their own place provided they have their job.
Well, I'd say that's
I
a
feel like
very
there's a
like
pressure to like.
Americanized Western culture. 'Cause I would
Okay,
say
well,
specifically in like
whenever I
Central.
think of Western.
But whenever, yeah, but like specifically Central Europe, like especially Italy and Spain and some of the Danish places, it's like there's a family home where it's like multiple generations will live under the same roof. So
Yeah,
like
yeah, like
I'm not
Italy and all that.
I'm not
Yeah.
going to like that extreme, but it's something similar where they lived through fucking all that shit. They've lived through empires falling and rising and fucking dictatorships for a decade or whatever, and it's like that didn't phase them, even though times were probably worse than what they are now. And because one thing, the culture never shifted. One thing that's happened with us, the culture has massively shifted in many ways to where massive changes can happen like that.
Well, like, what onus do you put on yourself then? What do you think your responsibilities are for you personally?
Well, I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
Oh,
Like, you mean specifically me? I don't know.
well, what I think is, you start earning enough money, right? I think that's
Well,
what a lot of young men try to do, but again, the job market is so bad that they're basically stuck, right? A lot of people are just stuck, going into their mid to late 20s, 30s, even 40s. People are just stuck, and there isn't really any kind of, I don't know, foreseeable future at whatever job they currently have, because it doesn't pay with the price increases. So people are starting to basically give up. And yeah, I don't know how much it costs to put a kid into school or daycare. Because yeah, like assuming, I don't know, if I guess most guys, they want their girlfriend or wife to be at home or whatever to take care of the kid.
I think daycare
It's
should
just
be
like,
an unnecessary part of the economy, but people
well,
complain about childcare. It's
but
like,
then,
you wouldn't need to fucking pay for shit.
well, yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying, but if both parents are out of the house working because everything is so expensive at the moment, I mean,
But
and if they don't have any family or friends to look after the kid.
But like, wouldn't you agree that that could possibly be the problem, because you're splitting basically split by default, splitting wages in half.
Yeah, like that's why I said, like, at the moment, right? Like, if one family decided, you know what, I want you to be the stay at home, it's not going to change the man's wages, right, for the moment. It would take like a drastic change in the current period of time, and like I don't think that's happening. So you're basically stuck in the norm for today, which is you need a two income household to get basically the bare minimum.
Like, yeah, dating is bad, but the economy is pretty fucking bad too. You know, like if I had to fix one of the two things, one being the means to which I can provide for myself and live comfortably and afford the things that I want, you know, car, a home, or I don't know. I guess it would be quote unquote fixing women. I think I would be selfish and just, I'm just gonna opt for myself.
Yeah, it's crazy easy.
No, that is art.
At least I can live comfortably then. There's a fucking woman out there. I don't know.
But then that's kind of the
I don't know.
argument that I have, right? Is when you have something or aren't missing something, you don't care because either it doesn't affect you or you don't even know it exists. So I wouldn't even say that.
What are you referring to?
Well, you said how if you could be given like the means to be able to afford all that stuff, it's like like I've said before, where when people, let's say, have a job, or like specifically hiring managers, like they don't fucking care about the people that they're interviewing. They're just there because it's their job. Like they don't care about other people and how everything's going because they are already set. So it's like, obviously if you were doing good, then you wouldn't see the problem that's going on because it wouldn't affect you. At least that's how I think most people are.
What were the birth rates during the Great Depression?
I don't remember specifically, but I could look them up. You want for Canada or US?
I mean, whatever. I don't know, whatever you can grab.
Okay, so during the Great Depression in Canada, it fell from 23.9 or 23.6 to 20 by 1937. Canada birth rate right now per 1,000 people is on the high end 9.9, on the low end 8.9. So this sits alongside an ultra low total, which hold on. So another piece of propaganda that I would say is affecting it is when people look at it, or especially women, because they don't really know the significance of what they're reading. And I don't mean that in like a disparaging way. I just mean like genuinely, a lot of them don't understand it because they don't need to.
Whoa!
Where they'll say, "Oh, it's a 1.21 births per woman," and I'm like, okay, but what about the dude? So maybe you're replacing the woman, but you're not replacing the man. You're only you have to look at it for both. You have to have 2.1 per couple, not 1.2 per couple.
Yeah, explain birth rates to me.
Which part of it?
Everything you know about it.
Okay, well that's a hard thing to start from, but for birth
Well,
rates,
just explain what the numbers mean.
So they'll explain it differently now. So what it's supposed to be is replacement rate is 2.1 because obviously 2.1 is greater than 2. So eventually after what I guess working with decimals, I guess after 10 generations you'll have 3 or something like that, right? You'll have 3 after 10 generations because each 0.1 times 10 equals an extra 1, so I assume that's 3. You need 2.1 to replace. If you have 1.2 per woman, that's 1.2 children per woman. So I would also say that would be 1.2 per couple because that's how you
What?
actually have to
Yeah,
look
yeah,
at it.
yeah. That's what I was about to say. Yeah.
Because if it was replacement rate is at 2.1, it would be 2.1 births per woman. Because it works the same either way. No matter which way you look at it, it's still the same number. It's just they're conveying the information differently. They're just taking the dude out, which of course they are.
Nice.
Because that's a part of that. Like I said to Fees, I didn't explain it to him, but I alluded to it being propaganda, and that's definitely a part of it. Because if you hear 1.2 per woman, that's 1.2 is higher than 1, so that's replacement, right? But that's not how it works. Just like
So 2 and above.
2.1.
2 and above is replacement.
It's just the standard is 2.1 and above, because when you're at 2.05, it takes twice as long as the 2.1 to reach that next, let's say, third after 10 generations, right? And I'm using that as an
You
example.
probably already explained this, but what is the point? What does the decimal signify? I understand the whole number.
It's just an average, right? So I guess out of 10 families, one family would have 3, and then every other one would have 2, I guess. So since one of the 10 has 3, that would be an extra 0.1, right, as an average. So that's actually a perfect question. That's a good question. So if you have the 10 families and one of them has 3, you're at least replacing them by 1. But when it's just 2 for everyone, it's replacement.
There is no population change.
But it's stagnant. That's when it's really easy for certain things to go bad, like economy or sort of like the mental aspect of it. Because once the birth rates go down, it naturally demoralizes the population.
Well, then what would you say to Fees saying, well, if the birth rate is low, then let's just import people? What would you say to that?
Because I've already told them, because the same thing that happened to us is going to happen to them within the same generation. It always starts to drastically decrease their birth rate. So after one generation, the birth rate will be basically the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not even. That's
I think we discussed this before, but aren't there differences in birth rates amongst different ethnicities in one country?
Which country?
Let's say, for instance, Canada, right? Or maybe you could use the U.S., but I guess we'll just use Canada. If it was the case that Indians were repopulating at replacement level, but whites weren't, what
I'm saying is even the Indians fall back to the standard of that country after, the first generation that either was born here or grew up here, they're gonna have the same rate as the rest of the country. So that's why That's why just importing immigrants doesn't actually make sense for the birth. Like our okay, this is a perfect example. Over the past 10 years, look at all of the people that they've imported, and the birth rate is still going down. Why? With that, it actually hasn't even hit the first generation. It's not even, they're not even getting a fucking generation.
There are statistics for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
That's why I've probably made this argument with you before. Instead of importing a bunch of people from different cultures that will usually, if not most of the time, um, not seclude, that's not the right word, but um, not even displace, but have different groups in different areas that stick together. Like it's almost like we're gonna have many different cultures within the country. It's like that's not gonna fix the birth rate problem. It has to be social, um, also economic, because obviously that can play a role. Just like when there was the baby boom, but even during the war, like even though dudes were fucking gone, the birth rates were still good. They would need to focus on us instead of outward.
So, what do you want to happen to fix all this with people not having kids and all that? What's your proposal?
Well, I think good propaganda is not bad, right? Because I think people give propaganda bad, like the pictures on a cigarette pack of people getting cancer. Like, yeah, it looks bad, but it's good propaganda, right? Because that is by definition propaganda. Um, let's say we should have, um, whether it's a part of the culture or from the top down or from the bottom up, we should have things like promotion of staying healthy. We should probably have some like, it's nice to see some commercials and movies where there's like a family and they look happy and the woman isn't fucking just drinking or whatever by herself, and
Nice.
the dude's a fucking retard.
Where have you seen these commercials?
I think the last, either this or the Super Bowl before, there was one, and it was kind of surprising being on the Super Bowl, like as a commercial, because it's like there are movies like what's her name with the chick that played Daenerys. It's a Christmas movie where she's like basically just fucking a bunch of dudes, and it's like what the like that just like that just doesn't fit anything for like in my opinion. Like I don't even know what word to use to describe that. To me, that's like flipped upside down.
So you're in favor of censorship?
Well, that wouldn't be censorship. I just would not be doing that. Like we weren't doing that 50, even 30 years ago.
Yeah, but what if somebody made that movie? Would you allow them to air it?
Yeah, I would allow them to air it, but the thing would be, if you're correcting it, most
Well,
people wouldn't want to make that movie anyway. Because I would say the fact that they want to make that movie is a sign of degradation.
yeah. So you would leave everything as it currently is, but you would just introduce more of that kind of propaganda.
Well, obviously I didn't say everything, but what are you alluding to? Well, what are you saying I would leave out?
Well, no, what I'm saying is you would leave all the like the whatever it's Hollywood movies or TV shows or whatever that had that kind of stuff in it. Or it's just sex and all that shit.
Well, I guess it would depend if it's just like degenerate, like Sex in the City, where it's just kind of like mindless garbage. It's not that I would do anything about it. It's just as a culture
You
that
say
wouldn't
you love
be.
Spartacus.
Yeah, but it at least.
What is that?
Well, most of the time it was between like a husband and a wife. It wasn't always just random.
Oh, okay. So it's good now then.
Well, yeah, in that show they actually had things that they were trying to protect and preserve.
In that whatever snow that Christmas movie or whatever, at the end of it, did she end up with like I don't know, like a husband or whatever?
I don't think they got. I don't know. I don't think they got married, but she did end up with the dude. But it's like she was
Well, there you
basically
go, dog.
she was basically just like a boss girl degenerate. It's like,
Well, what if they're just trying to tell a story of, a chick, how a chick normally acts in today's age, and then ending up traditional like? Who's to say that wasn't the message of the movie?
well, I would argue if that's even possible. Because if she only becomes quote unquote traditional when she meets a guy, I feel like she's just not traditional.
Damn.
All right, I'm gonna go make food. I'm already after 7. All right, peace.